Hello everyone, good afternoon. I welcome you back again in the topic cell. Of the topic cell, we have checked so many different parts till this time in those 2 days. I just wanted you to remember few words, that's it. Today we are going to put an end to the topic. Maybe 90% of the topic will be completing today. Understanding cell organelles. Different cell organelles we have checked till this time as well, like mitochondria, maybe Golgi apparatus, lysosome, or maybe ribosomes, vacuoles and all. So now we are actually going to understand all these cell organelles in deep, and as well as we are going to understand their function. In eukaryotic cells, that is advanced cell or complex cell, we can say, in eukaryotic cell there are functions or metabolic activities conducted by different organs or small organs called as organelles, right? These organelles, a cell itself is a quite small body. So these organelles cannot be seen through even compound microscope. So these organelles can be seen or they are visible only under electronic microscope. This is the cell, and we have some organelles. So out of those all, whatever are written here in the cell, few important organelles I will be showing you. Just understand it. So few important organelles that what you need to remember is, first of all, of course, nucleus. The center of the nucleus is nucleolus, chromatin material, thread-like structure or maybe DNA which is present in it, Golgi apparatus, ER, matlab RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, vacuole, of course. Then we need to know about lysosome, mitochondria, plasma membrane, ribosomes. So these are the important things this year you will be learning. So these things at least you must know where they exactly lie and how they look like. So when the cell is given to you and you are asked to name, you should able to name these parts of the cell. Clear? So remember these parts. Of course, we will be remembering it in terms of knowing these particular parts one by one as well. So there you will understand. So let's begin. The first thing that what we need to understand from the organelle is ER, endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum is a network-like structure. You can see around the nucleus you will find the tube-like structure there. A network of tube is formed. This is nothing but ER. There are two types of ER. One is rough ER and second is smooth ER. That is rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So these are the two types of ER. Rough endoplasmic RER is actually formed due to ribosomes are connected to it. The nucleus release ribosomes, and that is attached to this particular ER, and it looks like a rough ER. It looks like a rough. So that's why we call that as rough ER. And smooth ER means this ribosomes are not connected, not attached to such endoplasmic reticulum. We call it as smooth ER, right? Functions of this endoplasmic reticulum. The first function is it forms a skeletal, it gives a skeletal support to the cell because it is present everywhere around the cell. So it provides a kind of a support to the cell, but that's not a basic function of ER. The basic function of ER is nothing but providing pathway for the distribution of the material, of course nuclear material, and that's the reason it is around the nucleus. So it provides pathway for the transportation or distribution of the nuclear material, right? Nuclear material means of course ribosome ho, protein ho, synthesized protein, chromatin material. Even it will play a very important role in sending the nuclear material from one cell to other cell, right? At the same time, certain enzymes are present in smooth ER, uh, and that those enzymes actually synthesize fat. Okay, the fat means it converts into lipids or fat or lipid, similar things. Okay, and cholesterol, of course, cholesterol. So let me tell you frankly that cholesterol word, once we get in our mind, we feel like it is nothing but it's not good, it's a very bad thing. But cholesterol is very much necessary to our body. Okay, what cholesterol does? Cholesterol gives a chance for the cell to recover, and due to cholesterol itself, the cell can build its own membrane, the plasma membrane. Okay, and it is very required, very much required. So there are two types of cholesterol, of course. One is good cholesterol and second is bad cholesterol. So I can explain you which food has got a good cholesterol and which food has got a bad cholesterol roughly. Animal fat has got a bad cholesterol. Any kind of animal fat, including ghee, butter, cheese, red meat, these all has got a bad cholesterol. And of course, good cholesterol is nothing but you can say plant oil, plant seed oil has got a good cholesterol, of course, if it is not refined. Okay, unrefined plant seed oil has got a good cholesterol in it. Getting it? So it's a rough idea I give you. Still, if you want to search about it, you can search and find out that what has got good cholesterol and what has got bad cholesterol. Let's continue the next one. So the cholesterol also is being synthesized by ER. RER, that means rough ER, concerned with the transport of protein, which are synthesized by ribosomes on their surface. So you must have understood that ribosome are connected to this rough ER, and which synthesizes the protein. Okay, synthesize the protein comes out from the ribosome, and that has been synthesized by rough ER, right? But as I said already, that every organ of body has got a different cells, and their function is different. So the smooth ER of a liver, the liver has got a cell, and in that cell we find smooth ER, and those smooth ER helps in detoxification. Okay, including even a digestive system has got a ER, and that produces some enzyme. Okay, um, of course, plasma membrane and other membrane are produced also produced by ER. Plasma membrane, like okay, cholesterol and lipid is synthesized by ER. So formation of plasma membrane and other membrane like organelle membrane are actually done by the ER. This is nothing but responsibility of ER itself. And this is a very important note that ER is absent in RBCs of a mammal, of course, very important. A mammal do not, a mammal's RBC, red blood cells, has got no ER in it. Okay, it has got no ER in it. This is the diagram of rough ER and smooth ER. You can check that. The red color is rough ER and the orange color is smooth ER. The purple color, at the center you find the nucleus. Clear? Let's move ahead. That is going towards Golgi apparatus. Let us see where the Golgi apparatus is in the cell. Could you see this Golgi apparatus here? This is the Golgi apparatus near the nucleus. It's like an orange color there. Could you see that? Okay, so let us see what is Golgi apparatus, how it looks like, and what is its function. The Golgi apparatus consists of a set of membrane bound. Membrane bound, I hope you understand. Membrane bound means coating. Remember, membrane means coating. Okay, cover. So membrane bound fluid filled vesicles and flattened cisterns. So let us understand what does it that mean by. I can explain you that here. See, Golgi apparatus is in fact a disc-like parallel cisterns and the vesicles coming out of it. Okay, these vesicles are nothing but bags of dispatched material. Whatever the material that Golgi apparatus dispatch, the Golgi apparatus is basically responsible for distributing the material. The Golgi apparatus, in fact, distributes some material through the vesicles. Okay, and let's go ahead. Okay, cisterns are usually stacked and a parallel rows, as we see. These are the parallel rows, right? And vesicles are nothing but packets. Fine. In animal cells, the Golgi apparatus present near the nucleus. As you saw the cell which I showed you just now, it is an animal cell. In fact, it is found near the nucleus. Whereas in plant cell, it is freely moving around the cell. It's not necessarily present near the nucleus, right? Uh, so material which is synthesized near the ER is packed and dispatched to the various target inside and outside the cell by the Golgi apparatus. So this is the basic function of Golgi apparatus, that it dispatch the material from the nucleus to the complete cell, or even outside the cell, right? Outside the cell as well. Let's see the function. The main function, of course, you got it. Main function of Golgi apparatus is to store, process, and pack the various cellular secretions. Secretion in sense synthesize protein or other things like lysosome ho, yeah, any other things. So that is been stored and dispatched to the body as per the requirement, cell body, I mean to say. Okay. It produces, in fact, lysosome. That word is some missing. Yeah, galat word hai. So produces lysosome which contains cellular secretions. Okay, it produces rhizosomes. Vesicle भी हो सकता, हाँ, it produces vesicle. Okay, I'll just write here. Okay, it produces vesicle which contains cellular secretions. Of course, it produces vesicle. Vesicle, what it does, it moves around. Okay, taking that secretions. It is involved also in the synthesis of wall and plasma membrane. Of course, जैसे RER and ER is involved or responsible for making this membrane. Similarly, this Golgi apparatus is also responsible for making the membrane. The reason you can understand, whatever is synthesized protein or maybe lipid or cholesterol is synthesized by ER, it reaches to the Golgi apparatus, and from Golgi apparatus it is moving to the body. So even Golgi apparatus is responsible for formation or preparation of membrane, right? आगे बढ़ते हैं. Of course, Golgi apparatus is absent in the bacteria and of course RBCs of the mammal. So, जैसे ER is absent, see, if ER is present, then only Golgi apparatus is necessary or is required. That's why it is absent in both. The RBC has got doesn't have both the things like ER as well as Golgi apparatus. Is this clear? Golgi apparatus was invented very later after the invention of the cell, because previously Golgi apparatus was considered as a ER itself, a smooth ER or ER itself. That's the reason Golgi apparatus was not given a separate name. But later on, Golgi is a person who invented or maybe discovered, you can say, who discovered there is some another structure or another organelle is present inside it, and it has got a different function than the ER. Okay, so that he gave his name, that is Golgi. Okay, we'll go ahead. This is the Golgi apparatus. You can see that cisterns are there, and then we have vesicles. Could you see this? Fine. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Lysosomes, a very very interesting and important organelle in the cell. Lysosomes actually garbage bag also it is called as, garbage collector also it is called as, and suicidal bag also it is called as. Why all these things it is called as? Let us see. Actually, in fact, lysosome is a kind of a structure which moves around the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, you know what is cytoplasm now. It moves around the cytoplasm and go on collecting unnecessary material which are moving inside the cytoplasm, inside the cell. Okay, so it go on collecting, and it doesn't only collect, it digests it. Okay, you must have watched the video. So after looking this, after reading all these things, what you have to do is you can go back again in the first video and watch it properly. So you can understand very clearly that all these have got its own function and how they actually work. Okay, so again I repeat, so let's read it. Lysosomes are simple tiny spherical structure evenly spread in the cytoplasm. Okay, each lysosome is a small vesicle with a single membrane. Vesicle in sense bag. Lysosome contain powerful enzyme to digest and break down the organic material. That's what I said just now. And lysosomal enzyme is made by ER, of course. It is made by ER, sent to Golgi apparatus, and Golgi apparatus create the lysosome. The another function of Golgi apparatus, which is not mentioned in our note, is to prepare lysosome. Okay, so this itself, the Golgi apparatus itself prepares the lysosome. So what are the function of lysosome? Lysosome serve as a intercellular digestive system. Okay, so it actually digests inside the cell. They destroy the any foreign material which enter in the cell, like a bacteria or maybe like a virus. It destroys it. Lysosome remove the worn out or poorly or not working organelle inside the digestive system. So there can be bodies or cell organelles which may not work or they are not working properly. So those can be destroyed by lysosome. During the breakdown of cell structure, when the cell gets damaged, lysosome may burst and the enzyme eat up the complete cell itself. So lysosome are called as suicidal bag of the cell. So when uh, the cell itself is not working properly, if the cell is weak, then cell itself is been digested by this lysosome, it breaks down itself. Okay, so that's why it is called as a suicidal bag of the cell. Okay, so garbage collector, a suicidal bag, these are the names for the lysosome. And who creates the lysosome? It is nothing but Golgi apparatus, and the enzyme required for lysosome is being generated by ER. Okay, okay, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Mitochondria, very very important unit or organelle of a plant cell as well as animal cell. So mitochondria are present in plant as well as animal cell. It's a very very basic unit, basic organelle, required organelle for any kind of eukaryotic cell. Okay, let us see. Mitochondria. These are the tiny bodies. I'll show you if you want. Mitochondria I have to show you. Lysosome you cannot see in this. Okay, you can check here lysosome, the pink color one. That is lysosome. Mitochondria you can check. It's there. Okay, could you see that? Okay, mitochondria. This is the mitochondria. How can I show you? Here it is. Could you see? Check kar lo. Fine. It's a oval like structure there. Okay, mitochondria. Fine, I'll just show you the mitochondria. Here also we have mitochondria. Here we have the mitochondria. Could you see that? Fine, so let us see mitochondria. It's a energy generating factory, you can say. So mitochondria is nothing but a factory for the energy generation. So here the basic energy required for the cell is being generated, right? So mitochondria in fact generates ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, you may not remember this word, it's written there, but still you may not remember, it's okay. ATP, what is ATP? Basically ATP is nothing but like a currency of the cell. Okay, currency of a cell, how we use money. Similarly, cell use ATP as and when it wants to move or work. Okay, it's a currency of the energy, like you can say ATP is nothing but a currency of the energy. So these mitochondria produces ATP. Fine, it produces ATP. Let us see what are mitochondria. Let's read it. These tiny bodies with cylindrical rod or maybe sometimes spherical shape. The mitochondria are bounded by double membrane. You can check here. There are two membranes. One is outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay, double membrane. The outer membrane is porous and inner membrane is deeply folded with provided large surface area for the reaction. Actually, in fact, outer membrane is porous in sense it has got a holes in it, and inner membrane is having fold in it. Could you see these folds? Okay, inner membrane has got a fold in it. This fold provides larger surface area for the reaction. Reaction किस लिए चाहिए? So that it produces energy in it. Okay, ATP in it. Function. Mitochondria is the site of a cellular respiration. Cellular respiration मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by cellular respiration? Let me tell you, respiration is not just breathing. Remember that. Respiration is taken oxygen, converting it to energy, formation, and releasing carbon dioxide is called as a respiration. Okay, respiration is not just breathing. Taking in oxygen and sending the carbon dioxide out is normally we consider as a respiration. Basically, it is not just a respiration. Respiration is what? Is taking oxygen by the cell, using it to produce or to generate energy is called as a respiration. Fine. So mitochondria is basically the site for the energy generation, or you may be considered as a cellular respiration. Mitochondria is known as a powerhouse of a cell. Now, like a lysosome are considered as a collector, garbage collector, or maybe suicidal bomb. Similarly, mitochondria are called as a powerhouse of a cell. Okay, they produces ATP. ATP means energy currency. Okay, so what happens is once the ATP is produced, they can use it anytime, or they can use it properly. Okay, it's a fine form of energy. It's a easy to use form of energy. Okay, friendly energy, you can say, and that is generated by mitochondria, so that everyone can properly use it. Okay, ATPs can be used. ATP is an energy currency of a cell. Mitochondria, yeah, this is a very important point one should remember. Mitochondria has got its own DNA. Basically, DNA is present in the nucleus. You know that nucleus carry the DNA. Okay, all the chromatin material, everything is carried by the nucleus, and the ribosomes, that is synthesis of a protein, is also done by the nucleus, right? But mitochondria have got their own DNA and own ribosomes. They do not use, mitochondria don't use any DNA or ribosomes of nucleus. Okay, it autonomously work inside the cell. Separately it works. Why it need to be work? Why it need to work separately? Because this is the powerhouse of a cell, a very very important part of your the cell, right? Very very important part of the cell. If this is not working, the cell might die. So that's the reason the very very important organelle is considered as a what is that, mitochondria. And that's the reason it has got a DNA, its own DNA and its own ribosome to prepare their own protein. They have got a protein to prepare. Of course, every organ or every organelle has got a different protein requirements. Accordingly, this has got its own protein, right? Mitochondria are semi-autonomous organelle. That's what I said. It is autonomously working inside the cell. Okay. This is the mitochondria. Could you see that? Okay. Now next one is plastids. Now what are plastids? You know about it. I'll just tell you, but they just names are different. Okay, but you know about it. Plastids are present in the plant cells, and some eukaryotic unicellular organisms also. These plastids are present. These are not present in the animal cell basically. So here you remember the plant carry a kind of a process they call as a photosynthesis, where they take the sunlight, use the sunlight and prepare their own food. This is done, or the site of this photosynthesis is plastid. Okay, just say site of energy for creation is nothing but our site of respiration is mitochondria. Similarly, the site of photosynthesis is plastid. Okay, so plastid, we'll read it. The plastid occur in the most of the plant cells. It is absent in the these are absent in the animal cell. Plastid also have got their own DNA. I hope you got it. Okay, those organelles which are very very important for the organisms or the cell are having its own DNA. So there are two organelles which has got its own DNA. One is mitochondria and second is plastid, right? And there are three types of plastid, of course: chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. We will be discussing all these things in the coming topic, not in this topic. So don't worry, we will be working on all this. Okay, what are these chromoplastic, chloroplast, and leucoplast? Later on, we are going to understand. Right now, you just remember plastid. Okay. So plastid function देखते हैं. Chloroplast is the one of the plastid which has got a green pigments called as a chlorophyll, and which is responsible for photosynthesis. Chloroplast is nothing but they are called as a kitchen of a cell. Okay, I hope you understand why we call this as a kitchen of a cell, because they prepare their own food. Okay, so if I ask you who is the kitchen of the cell, the answer is plastid. Okay, chromoplast also you can say, or plastid you can say. Who is the suicidal bomb of a cell? The answer is lysosome. Okay, and who is the powerhouse of a cell? The answer is mitochondria, right? Chromoplast. Okay, chloroplast you understood. Chloroplast. Chromoplast impart various color to the flower and fruit. Actually, plast are the plasted. Because of that, the plant or the flower or the fruit gets its color, right? And leucoplast store the food in form of a starch, in form of starch, or maybe in form of food, fat, or maybe in form of a protein. So there are three types of plastic as we see. Chloroplast, basically kitchen of a cell. Chromoplast, which is responsible for giving color to the flowers and fruit. And leucoplast is responsible for storing of the food. Okay, so you got it, what is plastid is. And this is the last, you know, um, organelle, vacuole. Vacuole is not so important in plant cell, but sorry, not so important in animal cell, but very important in the plant cell. The it has got a great role, vacuole. तो let's see vacuole क्या होता है. Vacuole are fluid filled membrane bound spaces. It is a space, in fact. That means it's a storing place, you can say. Okay, where the things are being stored, right? It's a storing place, you can say, of the cell. That's what they are, kind of a storage sac. In animal cell, vacuoles are very small and temporary. Vacuole is this place where you can store, and these are temporary in a animal cells, and of course small. But in a plant cell, vacuoles are quite large. So for an example, if I want to give you the example, these are the plant and animal cell. The upper one, the green one, is a plant cell, and red one is a animal cell. In a plant cell, you can see vacuole is large area. Almost 80 to 90% of the area has been covered by the vacuole. All right, are you understanding? And in the animal cell, you can see it's a very small. Last at the end, you can see at your right side, vacuole you will find it's a very small area, and of course it is temporary. Plant cell, it is very much required. क्यों चाहिए, किस लिए चाहिए, everything we'll discuss. In plant cell, vacuole are large and permanent, and it occupies almost 90% of the volume of the cell. It contains sugar, amino acids, mineral, and waste. Um, so, what is the function of vacuole? The function of vacuole, it helps in maintaining osmotic pressure in the cell. Osmotic pressure, I hope you understand. Vacuum can generate a pressure inside the cell, so it actually maintain the osmotic pressure. Okay, that we will be discussing when we start with the tissue. That is the next topic, don't worry. It stores the toxic byproducts of the plant. I hope you must be knowing wilting of leaves. Leaves fall down, है ना? Try to understand, as a animal we have excretions, or the process for excretion. Okay, we can excrete. Okay, urination, passing of stool, all these are nothing but excretion of animals, right? Sweating is also somewhere we can consider as excretion of animal. But do you have you any time observed that plant is doing such kind of excretion? Never. So do you think it plant cannot generate waste product? They generate and store that waste in the vacuole of leaves. लीव्स के जो सेल होते हैं, उनके सेल के वैक्यूल में दे स्टोर द वेस्ट, एंड व्हेन all the vacuoles are filled, the leaves become yellowish in color and they fall down, and that's what we call as wilting of leaves. So it's not like that leaves die and they fall down. Basically, that falling of leaves is nothing but excretion of the plant, right? And where it is been stored, it is stored in the vacuole. That's the reason plant need large vacuole. Not only that, not only for the storing the waste, it is just an example I gave you, but even storing of water, plant need it. Plant need the vacuole, because you can understand that, especially in terms of storing of even carbon dioxide sometime, because plant need carbon dioxide. So plant, what they do, they store the carbon dioxide, and during daytime, and at night time, during a night time, and at daytime they use that carbon dioxide to to proceed with the photosynthesis process, right? Is this clear? Getting it? So you can understand the function of vacuole. It provides us rigidity to the plant cell. That's it. Okay, so here we stop. We have learned different organelles, including nucleus, cytoplasm, plasma membrane, mitochondria. Then we have seen ER, then Golgi apparatus, vacuole, and then plastids, lysosomes, ribosomes. All these different organelles we have seen. What you are supposed to do, what you all have to do, try to understand. You are supposed to prepare a table where there would be three columns. First one, organelle. Second, location. And third, function. Prepare this table. Okay? Prepare this table in your own language. Okay? You will remember or you will understand that why I am telling you all these things. So whenever there is a test, only if you read this table, that's it. Your work is done for the topic. Okay? So what you have to do, you understood properly, but you have to list out everything very properly. ठीक है? So क्या करना है समझ में आ गया? फिर से मैं बताता हूँ. 3 columns. First one, organelle. Second is location. And third is what? Function. Fine. Organelle. Under the organelle, you can write its special name, like a kitchen of a cell, or maybe like a suicidal bomb or garbage collector of a cell, or you can say about mitochondria as a powerhouse of a cell. So special names or some speciality under the name you can mention there. Okay. So this table should give you the complete idea about the topic. That's it. So here it ends the topic. Only 1% part is left, that is difference between plant cell and animal cell, that we will discuss in the next day. Till then, complete this table and send it to me today. I know for 2 days I did not give you any work, but today I am giving you this work. Okay, so complete and send it to me today itself at any cost. Clear? Understood? So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.